this thing on?
Hello everybody and welcome back to Infinity Evolved with TechnoJunk. Last episode we were having a look at this thing that we've made, the Auto Fortune contraption, and the hammer in it turned out to be less than ideal. It's a great hammer, it's unbreakable, it's got the luck on it we need, the Fortune 3, but it's just so slow. So I had the idea that perhaps I could do something with doing the infused, unstable, ingoty things and use our division sigil, and I died a couple of times making the blocks because it's quite tricky to get all 9 of the ingots into the block space in time before they all explode, and I did all that and melted them down and discovered that I couldn't pour them into the molds. I had a sad. So then I thought, well, if I can't do that, it's been disabled in the configs. For the expert mode, it would appear. It doesn't stop you from melting it down, but it's really rather annoying. So I did think, well, I could maybe make the Bedrockium hammer. There seems to be 2 in here for some reason. But it doesn't appear, I was led to believe that those are actually indestructible, but they do actually have durability on them, although one appears to be pretty much double the other one. I'm not altogether sure what's going on with those. And it's really expensive. I would need 27 Bedrockium to be able to do that, and I did make some, but it takes a very long time to be able to make it with the UU matter setup that we currently have. So I decided, I've really been kind of fighting against myself, really, because we've got everything we need at this point to be able to make this pretty easy for ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 hammers, and I'm going to make them all like this, and I should have another bit in here. Yeah, there we go. See, I even had the Bedrockium in there, but I've only got 6 bits of it. So if I put these in here, we can go, well, if I go hammer 1, that's hammer 1, and then this one, hammer 2, that's hammer 2, there we go. So we have got stonebound, writable, thaumic and reinforced 1. Not too fussed about the reinforced 1, but these things have got an effective durability of over 10,000. Now, I will be putting these redstone flux capacitors on them, but not right away. Because they've got stonebound on them, I want to work the durability down, because if you're not familiar with this, the durability of a hammer, like that, the durability of not the durability of a hammer, but the durability of a tool affects the speed, or indeed the damage ability, if it's a weapon, of the particular tool. So the more damaged a tool becomes, the faster it works, which is cool. So let's go and get, oh, I want to get lapis as well whilst I'm at it. Loads of lapis. I'll get a couple of stacks of each, because it needs a lot. And we're probably going to make a horrible noise now. So hammer 2. Let's put the luck onto it first, because that's the most important thing. And we'll get this done up. Right, we've got our hammers up to full looting, and we've got a fair bit of haste on them as well. 200 of each, and yeah, we've run out of our modifier slots. So we've got the 2 lots of stuff that we need. We've got gold blocks and diamonds, which will give us 1 more modifier there for that one, and the same for that one. And then if we get golden apples and blocks of diamonds, we can do the same thing again, and like that. And then we can put some more redstone on these ones. Now, I've deliberately not got the nether star on at the moment, not putting it on, because I will save the nether star upgrade for the flux capacitors. That's us we're up to 300 redstone. That's nearly 25 mining speed on that. That's pretty good. And then if we quickly do this one as well, we'll see how quickly this mines things, because I'm going to go down stairs and then work these things down as close to 1 durability as I can get. And we'll just have a go and see exactly how destructive these things are going to get. I'll just go down to here and we'll go through and see how quick we can get these things to go. Let's just run up to any old wall, I don't really care. And yeah, that's nice and fast. Yeah, these will work nicely. So I just need to kind of run at a wall and keep this going. So how quickly is that going to go down? We are at 1. Oh, we've gone down not quite even 100 yet. Okay, well, we'll need to work on that. Well, you didn't think that I would actually have an automatic mining machine and then be manually running around working the durability of this thing down, did you? No, 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 that's not how we do things around here. So we'll just keep an eye on that one, and once it gets low, then we will take that out and we'll see. The stonebound modifier, you can see, has already gone up to 0.5. So that's come up from, I think it was 0.2 something, wasn't it? In fact, there we go. Stonebound modifier, no, it's still 0.5. What's the speed? Stonebound bonus, 2.16. That is... It doesn't say what the maximum is. Alright, so the maximum is 3.77. And that is up to 2.2. Excellent. So once it gets up to 3.77, I guess, then we'll stop it. Excellent. Keep an eye on that. Now, the other thing that I failed to kind of do last time was, I think I failed to accurately explain what block gates do. And part of that is because these ones are in the advanced cable clusters and you can't see. This over here is a block gate. When you place it down, it will be facing you with this yellow circle with another sort of yellow bit round about it. And you can place it in the world up the way or down the way or sideways, and it will always face you. So if you place it pointing down the way, let's pick it up. If you place it facing down the way like this, there we go, it's facing up in the world. And that is the facing of the block, and effectively where it places items when it gets them passed to it. And I shall put this on the back here and show you what I mean. If I take a bit of cobblestone and feed it in here with the hopper, it places it in the world. Now it does something funny here, because what it's doing is placing it on effectively the front edge of this block. So it's actually placing it 1 block further away from what its inventory is. The block gate treats this block here, this one, as its inventory. And it can detect things that are in it and interact with that block. But it does something peculiar in this situation where it actually puts it in front of itself, a little bit too far. Now, whilst this yellow circle actually says which direction it's looking in, the inner circle dictates which direction to place the block. If you think about how you place stairs, where you place the block where you're aiming within the block makes a difference to how the block is orientated. And by right-clicking on one of the other faces, you can change that. So now it's still targeting the block in front here, but it's going to be sort of aiming at the left-hand side of it, kind of like that. So if we put in another block, I don't think that cobblestone's perhaps the best example, but there we go. Yeah, it's placed it facing the other bits. Instead of in this block space, it's in that block space. Now we can do the same thing on this side. If we face it that way, is it going to do? Where did that go? There we go. Don't think I did it right. The lag in here is a bit bad today. There we go. So yeah, you get the idea of that. Now, in order to properly place it, like we are doing over here, we can't do that on the back side of it because it is against the wall. If you shift right click, then you force it to the other side. So if we shift right click here, it's on that side. So if we shift right click on that front face, the little yellow dot you can just see past the hopper there is there. And now we can go and put one cobblestone in, and boom, it places it against that face of the thing, which is exactly what we want over there. Now, this isn't a very intelligent block, because if we now go and put a bunch more stuff in there, it's trying to place it there, but it can't because there's already a block there. So it just spills out as item entities. And that's what we wanted to avoid over here. When we've got this check here for the condition, we're checking to see that there's nothing taking up that block space. Otherwise, it's just going to continually try and pump more stuff out, and it's just going to become entities, and it's going to cause a horrible loop of it going out, becoming entities, getting sucked up by the Ender Collector, and going back into the system. And whilst it's still going to come back here eventually and then get placed when there's not something in the way, it's probably just going to kill the server. Well, it's not going to kill the server, but it's not going to be very good. It'll cause lag and whatnot. So yeah, not the best idea in the world to do that. So we have that check, but as you can see, the check for that, we're not checking for blocks of coal ore and electrotine ore, we're checking for the electrotine and the apatite, because what happens is this block can also harvest things. It can check this inventory and actually pull from the inventory. Now, without a manager, we can't do that. It requires the manager to be able to do it. You can pump stuff in through hoppers and conduits and put them into this inventory, but to pull out from the inventory, you need the machine inventory manager, which we've got over there. But this is, when you whitelist from this, which you need to be able to do, it checks to see what the actual product will be. So if I put this fire infused stone here, it's not going to be able to pull in fire infused stone. It's going to pull in fire shards. And that's what's happening over here with this. So hopefully that is a little bit more information about how the block gate works and how you can use it. So that's how that's working. But we can make this better. How can we make it better? Well, we've got, at the moment, this thing is placing block. Oops, don't do that. Oops, don't click the machine inventory manager with a tinker's tool. It's not good. Yeah, this thing is being triggered every second, and that's pretty quick. But we can make it quicker. 3.02, cool. So how do we make it quicker? Well, one of the things that it can do is it can not only just go on a timer, we can set this up so it's redstone controlled, or even a block update detector. Ooh. Ooh. Update detectors. Ooh. Alright. Update block. Alright, okay. That's interesting. I may have to play with that at some point, but we're not looking at the update blocks. We're looking at redstone controlled. Delay trigger as well. Ooh. Set delay seconds takes before the trigger fires. Oh, wow. Oh, that's very interesting. That's new since I've played with this. Right, anyway, before I get distracted too much, redstone controlled, that's what we're interested in. And basically we want it to be triggered when it gets a high pulse. and we set it to a redstone receiver. Now, at the moment it doesn't have a redstone receiver. We're about to change all that. There we go. It now has a redstone receiver. Now, because these are advanced cable clusters, they've got the block gates in them, and they've got a cable in them, so they can connect to that. Normally, you would need to connect this to the machine manager itself, or via cables. You couldn't just have it connected up to the side of a block gate. But like I say, these cable clusters are very cool. I recommend using these where possible. So we will use a redstone receiver, and it's only the one that's there, and that's fine. And we're just not bothered about the sides because we'll just have it. We'll have it trigger anyway. We'll have it trigger on any side. I need some redstone. Funnily enough, being redstone controlled, we need redstone. So let's get this. I'll clear that, and we need that. And that. Don't need that and that. Let's do that. So what else are we want? What have I got to? Right. So we're wanting an input into this here, and if we go, there we go, on a high pulse, it's going to put that down there. Cool. Excellent. We like that. We also want to set down a comparator and a little bit of redstone. Actually, do I want to put it that way? Let's do it like, or can I do it like that? Oh, I can do it like that. Excellent. And is it going to do like that? Oh, no. What am I doing? The wrong thing. There we go. That should be a 1-tick clock. It's not going to work though. That's annoying. Right. Oh. There we go. It's too quick. The clock pulse is too quick for it to be detected. Okie doke. We need ourselves a repeater set to 1 tick. And that will be fine. So, repeater. I have one. I have you now. Excellent. Let's pop. I was watching Star Wars the other night. Right, so let's pull this up and let's put our repeater down. We'll have a little bit of a gap. We'll delay 1 tick. And we'll put our comparator there, that there, like that. Hopefully this will now work. It's too quick. Okie doke. Right, there's other ways to do this. Got it working. Here we go. So in here we have changed the trigger to be the redstone controlled one, and it's controlled by this redstone receiver, which is along at the end there, that one that we had before. It then directly controls this redstone emitter, just one off, but we've got 2 entries for it, so the redstone emitter thing's there. So that one redstone emitter on a low pulse sets the output to 15. On a high pulse, same emitter, sets the output to 0. So when it goes high, it's set to low. When it goes low, it's set to high. So when we connect it up with a bit of redstone alloy, so it goes up the wall, it's the only reason I've got that. If you had these horizontally, then you could have just normal redstone. And here is an accurate visual representation of the tick lag that we currently have on the server, because that should be flashing on and off fairly steadily. But you can see that this is an awful lot faster now. As soon as it's placed, as soon as it's broken, it's placed. So we are doing not too bad. We're at 3.2 on this one. So that's going nicely now, and we can set this. And the benefit is that we can do this and turn it off. We could also turn off that, but this turns off the whole system and turns off that clock, which is pretty good because this can cause a bit of server lag, so we might want to put in a delay here just to stop it from running every tick. But we can do something about that. In fact, shall we do... Oh, that's interesting. It wasn't running before without a bit of cable there. Must have been something peculiar going on. Well, this is relatively easy to fix that because if we say that this trigger is only triggering on the downside. No. There we go. That's going to stop it just now because it's not triggering on any side, and that is the east side. East side, yep, redstone side, east side, yep, and now we can go. No, that is the east side. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm looking at the compass all wrong. It is the south side. Okay. Sides. And that's set to that. There we go. Okay. And if we come out of here, the emitter, no, so it's just the receiver that matters about that. This thing is still outputting like that. So if we get ourselves, that goes to there, this can come round like this and go into this. That's still pretty quick, and we've turned it down to 2. 3 ticks, yeah. That's a bit of lag. Even at 4 ticks, that's pretty good. I'm quite satisfied that that's reasonable. And we'll do that. Yep, there we go. That's good. So this thing is still going 3.34. We're getting close. Look at the mining speed, 28. And you know what? I think that's good enough. I'm going to put this one in. How quick is this one? We might not even need the stonebound bonus. You know what? We don't even need the stonebound bonus. That's a nonsense. Right, let's turn that off. Let's go over and put the flux thing on, and I'll get the next bit sorted out for what we're wanting to do, because we don't need that, but we do need, and I need the nether stars as well. One little trip down to the basement later, and we've got our hammer there with an extra modifier on it, our second hammer with an extra modifier on it, and there we go, hammer 1 and hammer 2. Excellent, and these are gonna charge up nice and quick. We've got spare nether star for future use, which is nice, and we've got the 2 copper gears here for our energetic infuser. Let's toddle downstairs again. Got some other stuff here. We've got, right, we need to go, oh, that was the glowstone block, right? I want to ensure that we have a source of light down here afterwards, so we'll just watch that. Now, over here we're going to have, I'm going to need to shift this vacuum hopper, and I'm going to move it over just to 1. Or do I need to shift it? No, I don't. Yeah, I want to shift it. So we're going to come over with a cable to here, and then we're going to put 1 cable there. We're going to shift this thing. Again, that's just been hoovered up. and that's just been hoovered up, and that's not a huge issue. We'll pop that there. Now this thing is going to be in from the top, out from the bottom, and then we want our energetic infuser in from the top, out from the bottom. We need one cable. In fact, we didn't even need one cable. There we go, and that's just been hoovered up. That thing's very, very efficient at hoovering things up, I've got to say. Right, we are pretty much golden. Let's go get our liquid trash can and our vacuum hopper back. Trash can for fluids, those can go back up there, that can go in there, and vacuum hopper, please and thank you. Pop back down. So this is going to go here. The liquid XP output is going to go there. The actual internal buffer will be filled up, and that goes there like that. Perfect. Now what we've got is one fully charged energetic infuser. Put a hammer in, it charges up and goes to the out. Put that in, charges up and goes to the out. Well, it tries to, but cannot. Okay. Next up, we have got all this stuff here. Let's shift this over and do this completely separately to what's already going on here. We don't need to interfere with this. This is all working perfectly well. We don't want that to be interfered with, and what we want is we want a trigger, and we just want a normal interval, but it certainly doesn't need to run every second. I'm going to just do it at 60 seconds, so every minute this thing, what it'll do is pull the hammer out of here, which will be in the first slot. It's just going to pull the hammer out, and then it's going to try and put it into here. And any hammer that's in here, it's going to pull out and put into the first slot there. How does that sound? So there'll always be a hammer in there, and there'll always be a hammer in here, and every minute it'll swap them over. This thing will not take a minute to charge up one of these. So let's go and create input from the autonomous activator. Yeah. Now the target is in the downside because it's in from the top and out from the bottom. It's already picked that up because it's clever like that. And we want to do blacklist cobblestone. So we don't want to let it try and pull out any cobblestone because that's what we're using to blank off the other slots in here. So it's only going to pull out what's in there basically. And then we want to go and output that into our energetic infuser like that. And this should say, yeah, into the top because it's clever and it's already picked up that we set this as input on the top. Great, isn't it? And then we just leave the rest of it as blank because it doesn't matter. It's only going to be pulling out the hammer because it knows that. Now, in the same action, right after it's done that, it's going to go into our energetic infuser and take out, and it knows it's out, and put into the autonomous activator. And we don't need to do anything about blacklists or anything. And this should now be in there. Why hasn't it done it? Because it's waiting. Okay. Do we wait? Do we wait? There, it's done it. It's done it. There we go. So a minute from now, it's going to swap over. So it'll be hammer 1 in a minute. There it goes. Excellent. Working exactly as intended. Now this thing is actually working at the moment because the lever is on. This thing, there we go. Perfect. Working exactly as I wanted it to do it. Now what I will do Let's take that out of there. Right, this thing working exactly as we want it. It's going to be low lag because we've turned it down a little bit. It's going to be fully autonomous. I was stuck in between autonomous and automatic there. Yeah, so that's working perfectly. I'm very pleased. Now we just need to go and get it something exciting to go and mine. I've just noticed the time, and it's wrapping up time. So we will get this thing working flat out, hopefully next episode, with something cool. I was quite pleased with it the first time. It was just a little bit slow, but I think I've now got this working pretty much as fast as it'll go without really putting too much strain on the server. I recommend, if you want to try these things out, well worth a go. Steve's Factory Manager gets a bit of a write-up as being a bit complicated and stuff, and I don't think it really is. Once you put it, it's some of the wording of it might be a little bit unclear, I think, is the problem. But once you get your head around that, it's actually very easy to make something like this. And as you can see, it's going to be quite cool to do. VSWE Goes Minecraft is the name of the guy that makes Steve's Factory Manager. He's the mod author, and he's got some good tutorials on YouTube that I recommend you go and have a look at. And if anybody wants, they can always speak to me. I'm not an expert by any means, but I have used it to good effect in a few builds like this, and I'm more than happy to help out if anybody has any questions. But that's it from me today. Don't forget, of course, please do leave a like. I hope you liked my explanation of the block gates. I hope it was a little bit clearer this time around. Subscribe if you haven't already, please. It would be great to have you along for the ride. And, of course, check out the other seasoned gamers. See what they're up to on their side of the server. Oh, yeah. But for now, it's a bye-bye and have a funs from me.